Hey YouTube, in this morning's team I showcased Gastrodon, and I think it's the best answer to Drapion. So I wanted to make a team that was weak to Gastrodon, so like an ABB style team. So I use Qwilfish, you can use Drapion, you can use Overquill, whatever poison safe swap you want to use there. Drifblim lead, Qwilfish safe swap, Bastiodon in the back. Try to draw out the Gastrodon with your Qwilfish. You notice I have Ice Beam on it. Use Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is the better move. I just did not want to TM Roulette my way through that because I've already TM'd Roulette a lot today and it was just already annoying. So didn't want to do that. So lead, if you see Drift, if you see Gastrodon, great. If you don't, you probably need to, you almost guarantee need to try and draw it out, especially with how small the meta is. Draw it out with Qwilfish. Come back in, punish with Drifblim. Bastiodon roams free in the back. That's how it works. And you will see in a lot of these matchups, that's exactly what happened. I think it was like 3 or 4 of the first like 10 matchups here. Maybe less than that. It was like 3 or 4 of the first like 7 or 8 matchups. It worked. It was whatever lead swapped into Qwilfish, drew out the Gastrodon, came back in with Drifblim, punished, and then Bastiodon mostly roam free. You have some like interesting matchups. The Drapion versus Bastiodon is actually a lot closer than you would expect it to be, considering I know they have super effective Aqua Tail, non-stab though, with resistant poison things, but man, those Aqua Tails add up fast. Okay, so committing to the farm down on Empoleon here, get an instant swap. They have a Frostlass and an Abomasnow, so they are double weak to rock. So Bastiodon with the smackdowns and with the bulk, gonna have to, I don't know if it's gonna have to sweep it, but it is going to put up a lot of pressure here. I will shield. I'll respect the energy ball, just knowing that the smackdowns are gonna add up on the Frostlass as well. So shield that, and then we are going to start putting some pressure on this Frostlass here. So here comes another Stone Edge. This one grabs a shield. They are farming a lot, so get them to the yellow. They're going to have to dump a Shadow Ball here. 1 HP, but I'm not going to get farmed down. And I come in and I get the Astonish Shadow Ball combo here for the first win. Another terrible lead. Abomasnow. Safe swap Qwilfish. And there is your Gastrodon. So this happened a lot. So terrible lead. Lost lead. Switched into Qwilfish. Lost the mid game here. You have Gastrodon, which is what you want to see. Much rather see it here than see it on Bastiodon, that's for sure. So this is fine. This is what we want. You can chip. Again, Shadow Ball's probably better. Shadow Ball won't take out anyways, but probably better. I will get a farm down. I can take any move. Earth Power and Body Slam are both double resisted on the Ghost flying. So you really don't, unless it's running Water Pulse, you do not need to worry about it. Come in here. Gonna take any move first. You probably want to save shields for Drifblim where possible. And it is Drapion in the back. And here we go. So Poison Sting's resisted, but these Aqua Tails do add up. And yes, it only adds up like 15-20% at a time. But when you come at a speed of 8 and your Smackdown Stone Edge combo comes at a speed of 21, there are essentially almost getting to 3 Aqua Tails for every Stone Edge you get to. So the pacing is just a ton that it's going to cost you some matchups. And I don't know if it's this matchup cost me, but it will cost me matchups in the future here. I do remember going against a couple of these and losing. So I do get off the second Stone Edge. They decide to let it go. And now because I have energy and because they are half grass, Icy Wind is actually neutral on the Abomasnow. They're going to shield the first one. I will shield one back and get to another Icy Wind. I don't even need to shield back. I think they were just trying to get to 2 moves. But I get to the Icy Wind. This will take out. So bad lead, bad switch. Mediocre Drapion and took that matchup. Mamoswine, another terrible lead. Instant swap here into the Gastrodon. Again, we are seeing the Gastrodon, and again, a terrible ice lead into Drifblim, a terrible safe swap into Gastrodon here. And again, we will have to try to combo it with Bastiodon, and we'll see what's in the back here. So this one actually let me go a little lower. They let me land 2 moves, and they just farm down, which the only thing it means is I don't get as much farm, so I'm not as a move. So I'm basically trying to go blind here, and there we go, and here we go, and yes, this is very, very, very limited meta. And I can already see people getting bored having seen the same, what is almost a mirror match of the last one. Instead of Abomasnow, it was Mamoswine, but otherwise the team was the exact same. And there is just a lot of that. So gonna take at least one more Aqua Tail. It is in the red. Let's see what I decide to do here. It'd be an aggressive. I may let this go. Yeah, so I'm going to let this go. I'm going to commit to the very aggressive resisted Astonish down, but they do not let me. They instant swap. And I will have to shield up any move. I'm going to have to lower their attack immediately here. And you know what? If they shield, I could potentially Astonish down and come up with an icy win for the win. And I think that's exactly what happens. I lower their attack. They throw a move, which allows me to finish that Hex. Sorry, the Astonish. Get that energy. And get that damage. So I come out with a move, Icy Wind for the Drapion. So again, terrible lead, terrible switch, mediocre backline. Come up with a 3rd win here. Palkia. Someone mentioned they were going to do so there is opportunity to be very toxic in this meta. There are a few things that you can run if you just want to be toxic. Maybe I'll do that. There is your Dragon Breath or Dragon Tail users. So there is Palkia, ranked 39 Shadow. Dialga, ranked 55. Is there other Dragon Tail users? There's Giratina Origin, which technically has Giratina. That has a Dragon Tail, and same with Garchomp. And then there is some Charm users, Gallade and Togekiss being the main one. And then there's some Razor Leaf users. Abomasnow, we just saw the Abomasnow being used in that one. And Torterra, you're a bit lower. So, and then there's Mudslaps. Again, Mudslap and Razor Leaf are not on the same level. But there's definitely a lot of fast move pressure. So there's Gastrodon and Rhyperior. So you could, I think someone said they were going to do a Charm double Mudslap team. So you Mudslap the poisons and then Charm for what's left. So there's opportunity to be toxic in this meta, which is unfortunate, but that is just the way. That's the way we are right now. That's this meta. There's 15, 20 Pokemon. Try and find the right combo. Try and find a core breaker. I haven't found a core breaker yet. You have Gastrodon felt pretty safe yesterday or this morning. That being said, my next Pokemon that you'll see probably tomorrow is Vespiquen. Vespiquen, which is a bug flyer. So a huge answer to that. So I don't know. I think everything basically has an answer. And then there you got the Smackdown users for that is double weak to Rock because it is Flying Bug. I don't know. I don't know if there's a core breaker in this meta. Not that I've found. If you have a core breaker and you're willing to drop it in the comments or drop it in my Discord, maybe less people will see it there. But no, I just don't see. I think there's just too many. I think everything has an answer. There's enough darks to deal with the ghosts. So there's Spiritomb and Dust Noir. And there are Mudslap users to deal with the poisons. And there's grass to deal with the Mudslap users. And there's ice. You know what? Ice is an interesting one. Like Mamoswine. I saw a couple Mamoswines today, and it's now hitting me in the face here. And now I'm like, Mamoswine makes sense. You know? It's got 5 weaknesses, sure. And I guess it is weak to grass. But at the same time, it's one of those this is what can make these Pokemon potentially strong when you are also strong against your weakness. So you are weak to the fighting is just there's not a lot of fighters. I am using Lucario tomorrow morning, so just be aware that there are some fighters, but I have not really seen any. I don't think I saw another Lucario. I think it was the only fighter I saw in the 30 I did today. Fire? I didn't see any fire. Is there even fire in this meta? There's Heatran. Okay. There is Heatran, but I did not see it. Grass, again, Razor Leafer, sure. But you can also hit super effective with Powder Snow. Steel and Water. Yes, there's Aqua Tail. Gastrodon just doesn't really have water. Not a lot of these Pokemon, unless you're running like Empoleon with a waterfall. There's not a lot of just like pure water users in this either. And then Steel. Is there much Steel? Heatran and Empoleon. Yeah, the names I already did before. So no wonder if a lot of people use Mamoswine. If you actually look at its wins, it picks up... I think it just picks up a lot of the main meta. Drifblim, Vespiquen, Gliscor, Electrode, Bastiodon, Gastrodon, Qwilfish. Drapion is a 500. Right? There you go. That's like 7 of the top Pokemon right there. Close loss to Overqwil. Close loss to Dusknoir. And the ones you're really getting beat by are not being used much. Empoleon, Lucario, Bronzong, Toxicroak, Gallade, Frostlass. So like, okay, I'm gonna use Mamoswine. I think Mamoswine is the core breaker. I think Mamoswine is the core breaker for this league. And then I wonder if Abomasnow is too. You pick up a double fire weakness. What else do you pick up with that? You pick up flying weakness with the grass, so maybe that makes it a little more tricky. And you pick up a bug weakness with the grass, and there's some Fury Cutter users, so maybe not as strong. Probably still has some play. Yeah, but you're weak to poison because you're grass, so you're weak to poison too. So no. Yeah, so Mamoswine. Interesting. Let me know if you've used any other. I'm not going over the team much because it is, again, very, very, very straightforward. As you see, pulled out a Gastrodon again. Going to beat it with Drifblim, and then we'll see what is in the back here. As we throw an Icy Wind, lower its attack, Drapion's attack, and then instant swap here. And we'll see what's in the back. Staying in this matchup for a bit here. How are the fires? I haven't, like, Heatran is just here. I guess you're weak to ground and there is Mudslap users. So that in itself is a tough one. Ooh, yeah, that's a really bad loss to Gastrodon. I mean, not surprising, but... How do you lose to Vespiquen? You're freaking Fire Steel. Baiting X Scissor and then landing a neutral Power Gem makes you lose. Aren't you hitting super effective with fire? Are you for real? Come on, man. Okay. Staraptor. Yeah, if you're going to use Staraptor, don't use it with 0 shields. It's just a recipe for disaster. You can't do that. Okay. And Vespiquen here. I know Bug is resisted. 15. I also know that that's probably a Power Gem. And it is just an X Scissor bait. So that is unfortunate. So going to throw it here. We'll see if they shield. If they do, I probably try and catch something here. They do not, though. And Drapion comes in. So I'm going to definitely lower the attack. And then maybe go Qwilfish and just eat the move on Qwilfish here. Yeah, that's not surprising. Want to keep it alive. And there's your Gastrodon. There we go. Very successful pull of this out multiple times. Here. Yeah, so the strategy worked. I definitely pulled out Gastrodon a ton of times. Punished it with Drifblim. Bastiodon on free. Bastiodon almost felt like almost a little underwhelming in this meta. I guess it's just because these like Qwilfish and Drapion just can spam Aqua Tails. And they just really add up. I am exhausted when I'm filming this. It's 11 o'clock. This is my second video tonight, obviously. But I was also up at 4 a.m. today. And it was a long day at work. So, really rough here. But speaking about really rough, it's not a bad scenario when you're in the one shield with this thing. Because yes, maybe in the 2 it can out spam you with how long it takes to get to the Stone Edge. But in the ones, these smackdowns are really adding up. And I can burn that shield and just take a bunch of Aqua Tails, and they're not going to take me out before I farm down. So I guess I should have not thrown the move, but no big deal. I will take it out as we get to this. There we go. Mirror match. I think I try and catch the Icy Wind here. Yeah. Catch the Icy Wind. Not that it's a water Pokemon or anything, but just want to catch it. Drapion, yeah, again, why would you use Qwilfish when you have a Drapion? Qwilfish is a poor man's Drapion. Just use Drapion if you have it. Not knowing how many moves I'm going to get to, I'm just going to farm up, and then I saw I can get to double Aqua Tail. So I think double Aqua Tail does more than one Shadow Ball. Sorry, no. It should be Shadow Ball. You should run Shadow Ball if you're running this Pokemon, but 2 Aqua Tails takes it to the red after taking an Icy Wind. So we take that. I mean the move on Drapion, sorry, on Bastiodon, and then sniping. I just didn't want to have to like burn a shield on Drifblim, so basically eat it on that, burn it here. They come in here. I'm worried that, oh yeah, I remember this. And then I just top left eventually here. But it's just the little chip done. I thought it. I think I was playing it out because I thought like maybe they only had 1 shield and I had 2. But that is not the case. They have 2 shields here, and so I'm playing this out for no reason. So let's just fast forward to the next matchup here. Last one. Palkia lead. They get out into Drapion. I tried to make a catch. It didn't work. I got caught on the Astonish. So I'm going to stay in. See if I throw a move or just instant swap. Try to catch again here. Yeah, try to catch again. This time, way more successful. Do catch the resisted crunch. And I have a ton of energy on my Drifblim. So this probably does not take out. That's okay. I should be able to farm down. This is where, well, Ice Beam would be neutral, but I can't get to it after this crunch. Resist it or not, it still does a lot. And hey, Gastrodon, look at that. That's okay. Get my Drifblim on this. I think it'd be, I could farm down all the way, but I'm already at like almost 100 anyway. So I thought I'd just dump some energy, lower its attack, take this double resisted, lowered attack move, farm back up a bit, come with energy, and then Bastiodon will deal with Palkia pretty easy here, I think. And I still have a move. I still have almost 2 Icy Winds, so this game is pretty much over. Here comes the first Icy Wind. Here comes the second Icy Wind. Really putting pressure on the Palkia here. Instant swap. I've lowered their attack twice, so I really don't need to shield an Aqua Tail here. And they stay in just to get farmed down. And now Drapion is going to have to eat some. Is it lower? Yeah, okay. I was like, why am I missing the bubbles? It's because it's got barely any health left. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Vespiquen will come tomorrow. And then I'm going to try Mamoswine because I think Mamoswine is going to be a good core breaker. And then if you have any other core breakers or teams that I should try, drop them in the comments because otherwise, I'm getting bored already. There's a lot of same Pokemon here and not a lot of, yeah. Anyways, with that, I'm just rambling. Time for bed. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.